Another one, Blue is our city, Manchester City fan channel. And we got a win. Can you see by the smile on my face that you know one thing took place? Revenge was on my mind. We took care of our business and we got it done. So this is going to be the Manchester City versus Leicester City reaction video or review. So if you don't know, you're new to the channel, Blue is our city, Manchester City fan channel. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe, share the video, but most importantly, get at me in the comments. So let's get into this. So as I just said, man, revenge was happening on my mind because we know what happened earlier when, let's face it, they came in, they handled their business, and it was a 5-2 loss, but it was one of the pivotal moments in our season, along with the loss that we experienced to Tottenham. We got revenge on Tottenham, and now we got a little bit of revenge on Leicester City. So before I get into the more formalities of the situation, I know this is Riyad Mahrez' chance to come back home to Leicester, so I'm gonna get that out the way. But let's get into this starting lineup because obviously that was one of the talking points for me. So Sergio Aguero started. So I'm ecstatic about that because you already know I've done the Sergio videos. Other YouTube creators have done the Sergio videos, but it was nice to see Sergio get a start in this game. So I was real happy for that. But we noticed that we saw a lot of rotation in this game, and even Mendy got a chance. We're going to get on to Mendy a little bit later in the review, but it was Mendy in the back for Laporte, Diaz, and Walker. So on my phone app that I use, it kind of looked like a 4-2-3-1 with the double pivot. And then we had Fernandinho and Rodri playing. So myself, I'm like, oh man, this might be the defensive setup. And it played out much like that in the game. We had Mr. Mahrez in form for Algeria, kind of back in the squad doing his thing, making his, return to Leicester. So it's classy to see him get a chance to start in the game and none other than KDB playing the 10. Now, as the match went on, as soon as the game started, you could see that the formation was different. So forget what this phone is saying. It kind of felt more like a 3-5-2 situation with Mendy just so far up. So we're going to get into that. Leicester had the usual suspects starting for them, so there's no point in me getting into really Leicester starting lineup. But they didn't have Madison start the game. He came on later, but Jamie Vardy was up top. Tillman's in there. So Leicester was kind of doing their thing. That's what they've been doing. And Brendan Rodgers should show that he can coach his team to get a victory. So, but like I said, as the match went on in the first half, it showed me something. As Manchester City fans, we really have to be more patient of what we want because sometimes when you're looking at that first half, you just kind of stumped. And to be more specifically, when the game first started, I would say around the first 5 minute marks, Leicester looked pretty lively as far as we knew what their plan was, just going to sit up on the counter attack and be able to attack us. But they had a lot of ability, like not necessarily in the final third, but driving to get to the final third. And really on around that first 5 minutes, it looked shaky. Now, as we go through the game, Kevin started loosening up. Kevin's playing in the middle. There was this one opportunity where he could have got the ball on to Mahrez. It happened around the 10-minute mark of the game, and he just didn't get that pass on for whatever reason. But if you watch the game, you already know KDB got a chance to shine and do his thing later on in the match. Didn't happen necessarily, but kind of going right back to the formation, and I'm saying to myself, please, please. Obviously, I'm looking at the back three situation. I know that John May got a little bit of rest due to England duty, but I'm like, yo, in my mind, I'm thinking it's defense for this game, but I do not want to see that versus Dortmund. I do not want to see that. So I'm hoping that Pep can just, not play that. But in this particular game, my emotions just like, oh man, what are we doing? We're going with the back three because you see that Mendy was so far up. Around the first 15 minutes of the game, you can notice that Mendy was damn near playing left wing or, playing left wing because you had Gabriel Jesus out there. Shout out, Gabby. Happy birthday to you. We're going to come on to you in a second. But Mendy was so far up in this match that you could see that Mendy was playing more like a wing back. So around the 15-minute mark, 20-minute mark of the game, you really see that we're having possession of the ball, but we're not really creating any opportunities unless it's just sitting there and really catch us on the counterattack. Our first real chance came in the game, I want to say around the 18th minute mark of the game. Castagna, their left back, made a massive mistake. Ball falls on, I think Mahrez was the one that intercepted it. Ball was just way up in the air. Aguero being Aguero tried something with his left foot, but it didn't really nothing happen of that. So it was really our first opportunity. But KDB did get a moment in the 22nd minute to where KDB had this nice free kick opportunity. Maybe Leicester fans will claim it's not really a free kick, but it was definitely KDB free kick, and it hits the top of the ball. And then I'm like, oh my God, right over the wall, hits the top of the ball, on the top of the bar, square on, but just happened to not fall in our favor. But I noticed in the 24th minute, you could tell Pep saying, yo, let's get quicker with the ball. Let's get quicker with the ball because I'm watching over here in NBC. I don't know where you guys are watching over there throughout the world, but you can see the camera kind of turn to Pepe. He's like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. We got to get the ball going a little bit. But really, the first half, just to be honest, was more slow motion because you could kind of see that maybe Pep is setting us up to say, if we do have to play a defensive game, this is what we're going to play. Maybe in the Champions League further on against other Premier League teams. It could be against Tottenham in the League Cup. But we got a chance to really see that as we go through there. So, pardon me for a second. I'm reading off my notes if you see me with my head down. But so halftime comes and nothing's really happening. I mean, just to be honest with you, I'm gonna save you time on that. But nothing's really happening and no changes were really made up until the halfway point of the game. And I'm thinking to myself, man, come on, man. There could have been some changes made, but it just goes to show that as City fans, sometimes we need to pump the brakes, relax, and just understand that this team is quality all the way around. And what I'm really getting on to is, man, you can watch one first half of City football, be kind of uneasy with the situation, and everything becomes money in the second half as we kick on. So, what are we really talking about? There was a good opportunity as soon as the second half started where Leicester had the ball. It was a counter attack. I think it was Kalechi got the ball off of Fernandinho, made a mistake. Kalechi's driving, and then he finds one of the Leicester City players, and it ended up getting blocked. But a lot of shout out to Kalechi, and I think Perez has something to do with that opportunity too. But a little bit further on, and you know what happened. You know what happened. My man Benjamin Mendy is screaming that Mendy should be in the team. Not necessarily he hasn't earned it, but I would argue that he really hasn't had the opportunity. But Mendy came on, and what a play this was for Mr. Mendy. So let's get into this. And this is where you start to see Kevin De Bruyne shine because Kevin was trying to do his thing in the first half, but Kevin just started kicking on in the second half, opening up the squad, and KDB with this opportunity splits the ball over to Mahrez. Mahrez takes a shot doing what he does. Schmeichel save. Next thing you know, the ball ends up in Mendy's, area, if you will. It comes down, and Mendy's left footed. So I'm thinking Mendy's about to shoot on his left foot. I think it was Johnny Evans that ran off at him. He's like, yo, I got the ball on my left foot. Boom, brings it over to the right with Mendy with the curler on the off foot. Guess what happened? 1-0 City. And at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, my man Benjamin Mendy scored. So it was nice to see that moment. But if you guys get a chance, go back and watch it. I think it really happened around the 58th, 59th minute of the game. But it was so sweet, and it's 1-0 to the good guys already. So Sergio Aguero ended up, not really having necessarily the best of games, but it's my man Sergio Aguero. He could do no wrong at this point. But he ended up getting taken off for Raheem Sterling, comes on right around the 62nd minute of the game. So why am I talking about this or, kind of showing this pivotal play? Because honestly, this is where things start to happen. Not necessarily because Raheem Sterling came on, but Kevin's already finding his rhythm at this point. So basically, the opportunity comes, and just imagine this. KDB has something to do with it as always, but necessarily what happens is Sterling gets the ball all of a sudden, and then there's this opportunity to where the ball, we just open up the Leicester City defense. So we open up Leicester City's defense with a KDB pass, of course, starting it. And as we're driving, KDB, I think, passes it to, I think it ends up with Gabriel Jesus on the right. Gabriel Jesus passes the ball square to Sterling. And Sterling, you're just like, yo, what is he doing in this moment? Typical Sterling. But he gets the ball, he's on the left side, and you're just thinking that he's going to tap the ball in and square it, and then maybe just some. This was magic. I don't even know how it happens because as typical City fans, we're like, yo, Sterling, what are you doing? Just shoot right now. But Sterling just showed that he is a real cool, operator, something like a Sade song or something. Just like, yo, he's just smooth with it. So he basically has the opportunity. And we as City fans is thinking that the opportunity is lost. He squares it back to Gabriel Jesus. It is 2-0. Jesus gets a goal on his birthday. So happy birthday to you, Gabby. So, and then obviously more opportunities happen there. I think Morris could have had an opportunity in there to score, but the ball just went kind of wide. So it wasn't really Morris's day to score against Leicester in that, opportunity for him to come back to Leicester and get that goal. But Riyadh, you'll get many more chances. So before I let you guys go, just know this. I've been thinking about who's the man of the match of the game, and it's really hard to say. So Obviously, I could have gave it to Sergio Aguero. Like I said, he did nothing wrong. So many people would say he's not in the conversation, but I would say it's Sergio Aguero, and I'm showing him all the love in the world while we still got him. But I'm not going to do that. And then I could have gave it to Benjamin Mendy because Benjamin Mendy had this ill opportunity where he just showed the finesse, put the ball in on his right hand side. We score, make it 1-0, just to let all of us City fans feel calm a little bit. But it didn't happen there. And then obviously you could have given it to Kevin De Bruyne, and pardon me, I gotta take a swig of coffee. This thing is it's really tough doing this job. But I could have given it to Kevin De Bruyne because Kevin just started finding himself within the second half, just cutting Leicester up, Leicester having no chance. But you know who I'm really gonna give this man of the match to? This is gonna be for you, Gabby, because you really worked hard in this game. There really wasn't a lot of opportunities for you. You ended up getting the goal. Sterling looked out for you. And this is a Manchester City fan channel, so we're gonna keep it classy and give the ball to none other than Gabriel Jesus. Happy birthday, my guy. Happy birthday. So anyway, Manchester City gets the win, 2-0 versus Leicester. Testy moments happen later in the game, but the only thing you need to know is that 11 more points and this league title is wrapped up, and we are on our way to a fifth title in 10 years. And tell them haters to sit down. So I'll see you guys on the next one. This is Blue as Our City, Manchester City fan.